Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our RimWorld Warhammer 40k Let's Play. So, as usual, a lot to update you guys on before we get started. As you can see, the base has been expanded quite a bit. The prison is actually almost complete. We got the quarry down, we got the platforms ready, so presumably we could start having people, working in there fairly soon. We've got the rooms built up for the most part. We're running conduits through the walls where necessary. We're getting the place lit. I'm doing a little chain link fence, sort of like airlock in here, just in case there is any sort of prison riot or whatever. We can have people enter here and set up behind the chain link fence and fire through it into the rest of the prison. And that should protect them from, people with just their fists. These have 250 health or whatever, so they're not quite as good as limestone walls, but they're equivalent to like a steel door. Let's see, that's a granite door. Steel door, yeah, so 250. If we put a steel door right here, them breaking through that would be the same as them breaking through a chain link fence. So in terms of strength, it's equivalent. And then we're also going to move the Arbites statue in here, because where better to put it than in the prison. And this is where the nutrient paste dispenser is going to sit. It'll kind of protrude through the wall there, and we'll have hoppers here that we can access. You may notice that it's centered now. That is because I expanded this over a little bit, and that's why the quarry no longer takes up this entire area. It gave us a little bit of room to walk around it on more than just the one side, and then of course that allowed us to center up the nutrient paste dispenser. And essentially we've just kind of pushed the wall further over on this side, and we are trying to get that done, but we're running low on limestone blocks at the moment, so it'll be a little while before we get the actual outer walls done. And then of course, as time goes on, we'll layer them up. We do have our armor fabricator built, and we've actually already produced a set of armor. It's on Svolok, who joined us between episodes, as did Grasshopper, who's now Garvel. So, no prisoners right now, actually. They've all joined us. It took a long time to get them to join us, but they finally did. And so their beds have been moved. We're going to fill the rest of this room in with hydroponics basins. And so, yeah, we've produced one set of flak armor. Remy's almost done with another one. And then Mirage, as you can see here, is wearing a commissar's coat to go with her chainsword. And I'll give you guys a better look at those in just a second. Again, I do plan on releasing these textures when they're done, but I do want to do all the armor sets and make everything look consistent and make sure that every body type is represented. So, just as a comparison, because it might be difficult to see it here, and this is just temporary. I'm trying to get it sized properly on the pawns. So, I'll probably need to lower it, because you can see like the shoulders on this are a lot higher than they are on the flak armor. So let me give you guys a quick look at that, and then we'll cover the rest of the stuff, and then we have something big that we're going to need to deal with in a second. So this is what the original looked like. Obviously it's passable, but I don't love it, and it's not consistent with like all the flak armor and carapace armor that I've done so far. So here's a close-up of what my version looks like. So there's mine. I've basically modeled this directly after a tabletop miniature, so it should be pretty accurate. Obviously there's a lot of different types of commissars and commissar coats, but I went with kind of a more generic look, and I do intend to make a commissar specific armor set to wear underneath it to kind of complete the look, because obviously just a red jumpsuit underneath or some green flak armor probably wouldn't look right. So again, I am still working on these. In fact, you may see Mirage walk around, and if you see her turn sideways, it'll be the old one still, because I haven't finished the profile ones yet, just the front and the back. But yeah, so that's what I've been working on. Now then, there is a bit more planning happening over here. I'm going to just basically push the base over into this area, because I never really intended this to be like a heavily defended entrance. In fact, I never intended it to be an entrance. It was just too inconvenient to not have one on this side, because we only had the one there. And then we have one along the top. Right now it's this and this. Those are our two entrances in the north. But yeah, this is our southern entrance. sort of southern and eastern. And it's not very easily defensible. We did finally get the defenses placed around it, but it's open to too much area. It can get fired on from the east, from the south, anywhere in between. So I'm eventually going to wall that off, and we're going to turn this into a wall with an entrance, and this should be much more easily defensible, or easy to defend, because they will only be able to approach from straight on. I mean, technically they could come in like this, but we'd still have, you know, the same line of sight on them, whereas over here, if they're coming at us this way, there's very little we can do about it. And so that will allow me to expand, you know, the buildings and stuff a little bit further. We're going to have another one of these cooling hubs right here. And then these types of rooms, there'll be one there and one there. And then I think this area is going to have, again, that mirrored over, and then some little 5x5 bedrooms. And we'll try to do the same over here, assuming it fits. We may need to wall this off a little bit higher or something, but I think we can make it work. And then, of course, we've had all this planned out for a while. I do intend to extend that over there and try to utilize this too, but we'll see how that goes. And then probably the biggest thing, this is kind of important too. We have a geothermal generator out there now, and I just put these high security fences around it to protect it. But I'm turning all of these little, sort of like the crenellations we had along the wall, they're all going to be their own little pillboxes. So essentially, it's just going to be a 1x1 room. This will be a door. These will be embrasures, and so people can pop in there and fire out anywhere in, you know, like a cone like that. And then if they start taking too much fire, they can just hop out behind the door and maybe move to another one, or we can have people stationed all along the wall. And that should just make the front, again, a little bit more defensible. If the embrasures are leaking air, I don't think that they are. But just in case they are, the door will also serve to sort of make this its own little airlock. And if they wanted to break through there, it wouldn't be all that much easier than breaking through the wall itself, because the embrasures have the same strength as a wall, and they would still have to go through at least one embrasure and a door, or at least one embrasure and a wall. So either way, they've got to break through 2 layers. It's just whether or not it's going to be embrasure, wall, door, or whatever. And then I talked about this before, but we've added chain link fences along the embrasures here, because embrasures can be used as cover from both sides. So this is supposed to be like a little murder hole if anybody gets through our outer defense of this door, which is pretty sturdy. If they get through there, or we let them in and then shut it behind them, they could have before walked up to the embrasures, and they would have had equal cover as the people who were hiding behind it firing. And with the chain link fences, they can't move into that area now. The chain link fences do offer a little bit of cover, 15%, but that's a lot less than the 75 or the 70 that these are offering. So we'll have a huge cover bonus, whereas they'll have a pretty minimal one, and they'll be stuck right in the middle there. So that should help make that a little bit more effective. What else is happening? That's pretty much it. We're starting construction on the weapon fabricator. We're currently crafting that stuff. I've set queues on these for basically the amount of resources that we'll need to build those things, as well as the armors and weapons. So we should always have like X amount of these present, and whenever we don't, they'll start working on that, but otherwise, you know, they'll work on something else. And let's see. So probably the biggest thing today is that we're being attacked by greenskins. And they are trying to set up a siege, so we're going to meet them halfway. We're not going to let them set up. Most of them have choppers, or choppas, so we're going to want to obviously use our range. They do have shootas and sluggas and all that, so they can fire back, but not all of them can. And they are attacking from the south, so we will get a chance to use our M2 Browning machine gun, aka our heavy stubber. So I think I gave everybody orders, right? Oh, good. A shoot frenzy. Perfect. Wow, that could not have been better timing. All right, Graith. Start moving that way. And let's see here. You know what? Brag. Or let's do... Who's the best shot over here? You're pretty good. I know Remy's pretty good. Let's get Remy behind that, and we'll have Murgo on the other side. And that way you guys can get a little bit closer to where they'll be coming from. Why won't you listen? There we go. Oh, their stuff's coming down. Let's see. What does your range look like? Okay. I think if you get to like here, maybe even the tree. Can you hit them from the tree? Yes. Why don't you take a shot at that guy? Any day now. Is he too far? Shoot that guy then. God, it's like they know I'm targeting them. Alright, fine. We'll move up a little bit more. She should pick her own targets at this point. There we go. Alright, we'll harass them until they decide to come out here. They've got, what, 2 steel mortars set up. Can't let them do that. We got a lot of goodies here if we're able to kill these guys and prevent them from using it. I wish I had another sniper rifle, though. They just don't seem to care. Let's see. I might bring some other people over here. Remy and Murgo, are you a decent shot? You're okay. I think I'm just going to send Remy because I know he's a good shot. So Remy, head over here and help her out. We could really use some mortars, though. I believe we have the tech for it. We just haven't started actually producing them yet. But we have a bunch of shells. I've actually been buying shells for them. So we have like EMP shells and incendiary shells. All sorts of stuff that we can use against the enemy. She hasn't dropped anybody yet. These guys are pretty hardy. Oh, he's bleeding out. He's just not down yet. Alright, so Remy's putting some fire on him as well. Alright, there we go. They're starting to assault us. Here they come. Alright, Graith, you go first. Let's get the heck out of here. I'll put you there. Citra, oh, I almost forgot to get you behind something. Citra, get over there. And Remy, finish that volley and then start running. Alright, time to go. No, come on, Remy, go. If they catch you in melee, you are absolutely screwed. Alright, so your job is to get back behind that. We should start opening up on them pretty soon, because this thing has really impressive range. Oh no, he's hit. Just don't shoot Remy, please. Nice. Oh god, that hell gun though. This is actually working pretty decent. Oh yeah, they've turned around. So that worked. I think you guys are taking friendly fire. Yeah, las gun shots. So you clowns need to stop shooting. Let's see, Murgo. I think we should pursue, right? Like, I feel like we should. They might bleed to death anyways. Yeah, let's, anybody that's not wounded. So, Remy, you took a hit from a slugga in the leg. No new eye damage, though. That's good. So, you can go rest. Zima, how bad is your deal? You got shot in the spine. That's not pleasant. Yeah, you go back. You're in no immediate danger either. But your movement is weakened, so let's not risk it. We'll send you guys back, and then this group will pursue. Along with this group. And, you know what? Why don't you guys go, like, that way? Yeah, do that, because then you're not running in the line of fire of that heavy machine gun. We'll see how that goes. I think they might make it off the map because they're going this way. Yeah, they're gonna make it. She could have hit them, but oh nice, you guys got one. I didn't want her to be firing through our own guys. Do something like that. These should all be dead, and we're gonna want to haul them. We can turn these guys into meat and then into kibble. Probably don't want to eat orc. I don't know if we'll take any debuffs. Why am I doing that? There we go. Yeah, I don't know if we'd take debuffs or whatever. So I'm not going to risk it. She's going to go haul some corpses. That's fine. I don't know how valuable these weapons are, but we'll grab them. Let's see. Slugga. 12 range. That's not very good. 15 damage, though. That's pretty high. That's almost twice a lasgun, I believe. But, you know, only a third of the range. I mean, we'll take them. We're not probably going to use orc weapons. Although it might be cool to use their choppas as, like, sidearms or something. Or maybe trophies. I don't know. Light him up. Light him up. No, he's gone. Alright. In that case, you guys are all free to go about your business. Let's make sure that this stuff is not forbidden. What is that? Cycloid leaves. Okay. And, of course, we're going to want to make use of all this. So we'll unforbid that, and hopefully somebody comes and grabs those before they deteriorate too much. But cool, we were able to not only run them off before they cause any damage to us, but before they set up and utilize any of those resources, so now we can steal them. So that worked out pretty well, I think. That worked out pretty well. Liara's still cooking up. What are you cooking? Simple meals? Okay, that's fine. Can you not store them in there? No, I told you not to. You are welcome to do that. And I think there's meals in here too. Yeah. That's probably why this is so... Yeah, it's cooling itself down pretty quickly. But, I'm trying to figure out a way... I'm going to need to make another zone. Because I have the dogs set to home zone right now. Because I want them to be able to run around the base. They do a lot of our hauling for us. But I don't want them going in there. Because they like to linger in the freezer. Or like in the doorway. And they don't carry very much. So they take like one meal at a time back and forth. And that obviously, you know, warms this place up a little bit more than I'd like to. So he's taking all 10 this time. Huh. But yeah, I'm gonna have to set a new zone for that. I can do that off camera though. Looks like we've got some orcs getting dropped off there. Halleck, could you like maybe treat people? Let's make sure we're not wasting medicine. I don't think we're gonna need it here. And let's see, same deal. Yeah, I don't want medicine there either. And then Halleck, if you could just patch them up real quick. That would be great. I think I have his research set to 1. That's why he didn't jump straight to it, but that's fine. It's not like we're dealing with that often enough where I need him to be able to handle it himself. I don't mind having to micro it, because it's pretty rare. Some of these are pretty damn good. 17.42 DPS. How does that compare to like a... Let's see, this like short spear. Wow, so it's almost 3 times as good as that. How about the combat knife? Yeah, so it's almost triple. Well, we might use those then. I know they're orc weapons, but at least they're not tainted with chaos. And then, you know, of course we can take trophies. I don't know about these pistols, though. I think that's too far. Like an orc machete is still just a, you know, rough machete, but I don't even think orc guns would work for humans because of how all their technology works. If you're not super familiar with 40k, all orcs are sort of like latent psychics at like a very low level, but if they all believe something to be true or like that something will work through sort of like mass psychic whatever, they're able to actually make things work that probably shouldn't be able to. What are you doing? Oh, could you don't do that. Go chainsword him to death. Not chainsword, yeah, chainsword. I don't know why I thought it wasn't a chainsword. Anyways, so a lot of orc technology has like no real basis behind it. And there's things like the reason they paint their vehicles red is because they believe that makes them go faster, and because they all believe it, it actually does. Oh great, solar flare, that's gonna hurt us. We'll probably lose all of our crops for a day, but whatever. Whatever. Oh, and this stuff might rot too. That's probably a bigger deal. Oh well. Let's see. That finally got moved. It's too good for them, to be honest. It's 120 beauty. Those prisoners don't need anything decent looking in here. It looks like we made some progress on the floors. We've just been running into too little resources. It's difficult for us to keep up with the demand of cutting blocks. It looks like they are cutting some, though. And then, I'm not sure if I like the limestone and slate floor. Maybe I should have done limestone and granite. It's just, there was a little bit of slate in, like, you know, a pre-existing building lying around, so I figured, why not tear it down and try it. Zima's got a work frenzy, okay. But yeah, I figured, you know, what the hell, we'll check it out. But I think it's almost too much contrast. Everything else in the base is, you know, a little bit more subtle, and that really jumps out at you. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I just wanted the cafeteria to look a little bit different. And then eventually they'll get around to these, I hope. I've had them queued up for a while. They seem to prioritize everything else, but as long as it gets done eventually. I was pretty impressed with this guy, though. I'm pretty sure this did a lot of the damage. I'm curious, does any of that show up on her combat tab? No, just the bolt action stuff, unfortunately. Unfortunately. I don't remember who it was. It might have been Mirage, but there was some really entertaining stuff when we were dealing with the ostriches. Apparently one, like, bit her in the neck, and it had, like, a smirk on its face while it did it, and then she, like, gutted it with a chainsword. The feed was pretty interesting, but, oh man, we lost all of it. Oh, well. We have enough food reserves. It's not going to make a difference. As long as none of the food in these spoils. Why are you butchering? Don't do that. Stop that. No, stop. Do literally anything else. Yeah, sure. You could actually... Are you capable of hulling? No. That's really annoying, actually. I guess we'll just leave it there. It's not like it's any worse here than in the freezer that's no longer a freezer. But, yeah. I don't want her to get a bunch of raw meat that's gonna spoil. Don't need it. What else? Bragg is fully healed. Fantastic. So it's just Zima and Remy. I need to figure out a better way to set this up where we don't have to fire over each other. I'll probably just push the sandbag out a little bit and make it wider so that everybody can use it. I think that makes the most sense. So let's just queue that up now. We'll do something like this. Maybe like that. And then we'll just move the gun to maybe the corner spot. Again, that way that gives everybody a spot on the sandbag and we're not shooting out of embrasures over people's heads. Or into their backs, as what seems to be the more common case. Oh good, they're finally getting around to it. I mean, honestly, I think I'd rather than build this first, but as long as it's all getting worked on. I'm going to add some of these here just for aesthetics. Oops. Cancel that, and we'll just build a copy of it right there. I guess eventually we could gate these off or something. You know, if we go into lockdown or whatever, we could have everybody, like, sealed in here with a gate. We'll see. I sure wish this solar flare would end, though. We are potentially losing a lot of food because of this. Remy failed while building. So it's just Zima that's still hurt, huh? She did get the most hits. And they're all from las guns. We'll get it eventually. We'll get it eventually. What else? What else? What else? I'm gonna try to repair these. And I believe with the mod I'm using, the repair mod I'm using, it should allow me to remove the was worn by corpse modifier if we repair them fully. And we can use those as like prisoner uniforms, I think. Because we have three of these blue synthred shirts, 3 of the blue synthred pants. Those were from the people that were in the crypto sleep pods. But because they were all dead when we found them, you know, couldn't exactly give them to our colonists, but could potentially repair them and give them to our prisoners. And then, of course, anything good that they're wearing we'll take off, modify, and either sell or use for ourselves. I really hope somebody's going to grab these. You are just cutting and delivering. I guess that's fine. You may notice there's lights in here as well. I did these little tiny corner ones in here because I wasn't sure how to light this kind of like round room shape. So I did the little ones on the corners, and I think it looks okay. They're pretty subtle, so you almost don't even notice them until I zoom in. And then I did these along the hallways, but it was difficult to space them consistently. I just ended up putting 5 in between each one. Oh, we got visitors, and they have items to trade. We'll see what they have. Maybe we can sell them a bunch of orc stuff as well, if it ever gets deposited. Oh, we have more slate down there. Cool. If I ever end up using it. Finally, the solar flare is ending. I think we got kind of lucky there. It wasn't too warm outside, so I don't think it elevated our base's temperatures that much. Although, oh, it's actually hotter in there than it is outside. Wow. Well, they're kicking back on, so we should see that sort of recover. Ooh, 2 item stash opportunities. I actually kept the other one just to see if you guys thought it would be worth it. It may be too late now. Because we had 16 days, and honestly, it's probably been longer than that since we got it. But let's see if it still exists. If we did it, and I'm not saying we will, but you guys are welcome to weigh in on this. We would, the rest is probably junk, but the Commissar cap, even though it's poor quality, and the Carapace armor would be nice. And so let's see where it is, or if it's even still there. And that's quite the journey, isn't it? And those guys don't like us all that much either, so if we did it, it would take us, what? 1.1 day. It actually looks a lot worse than that. So round trip is going to be like 2.5 days. Of course, you generally want to at least double that to get a more realistic estimate. And that's assuming that nobody gets injured in any sort of fights there. So we'd have 3 days left to do it. I don't know. I am not sure. Let's check out the other one. What would we get here? An Orbital Power Beam Targeter. So Orbital Power Beam Targeter, an ancient targeting unit for a network of power collection satellites. Once aimed at a target, it directs ancient satellites to begin beaming power down on a massive column of electromagnetic energy. This power can safely be collected in a giant absorption dish. Since you have no absorption dish, you'll be aiming it at enemies, at which point the power column will turn the area into a 1,000-degree inferno. Okay. This will last until the satellites detect the unsafe targeting, shut themselves down, and permanently deactivate the targeter. So, I'm not familiar with one of these. I don't think I've ever gotten one. Does that mean it's possible to get the absorption dish? Because I'd much rather use it for free power than sort of like a one OP kill and then that's it. We have a little bit of time, but that is quite a bit further away. I don't know that we'll be able to make that happen. 3.2 days going right past some chaos. Or those are Trader Guard, I think. I think that's Chaos Marines. Or maybe, let's see. What's this say? Death Guard, yeah. Chaos Marines. Those are orcs. I don't know which orcs just attacked us, because there are a few. Yeah, I don't know if that's doable. I guess we'll see. You guys are welcome to weigh in on those, though. And Tell me if you think they're worth it. Obviously, carapace armor is something we're not too far off being able to construct. In fact, all we need is the research for it. What are we doing right now? We did mortars. We're doing tissue printing. I actually got bionics done as well off camera. So yeah, tissue printing. And let's see if we wanted to do carapace armor. Yeah, we would just need to research it, so I guess I can do that next, and we don't even need to worry about going and getting it. But I'll go ahead and end the episode here. Again, you guys are still welcome to let me know what you think about those missions. That siege with the orcs, I think, went pretty damn well. About as well as it could have, except for the friendly fire, of course, but it's something we're working on. I think this design here will be a little bit easier to mitigate that, so that nobody's firing over anybody's head. Again, that's going to set up out here. So it's the furthest point, and that'll be able to, I think, probably engage targets. If we moved it there, it'd probably push the range out to there, so as soon as they cross into this area here, they'll start taking fire, or right about there. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Oh wait, actually, don't forget to keep submitting names, and as I said in the last episode, don't forget to use the tag as well so I can find it easier. That tag, again, is hashtag Warhammer 40k name with no spaces. So any names that you submit, make sure you have that in the comments somewhere so I can find it in my community tab. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some RimWorld with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.